What do you do in order to get great ideas? Is there a time that you set aside in order to think? Does it just kind of naturally happen all the time? Or when is it when you get your most inspiration to get great ideas?
Well, as a social scientist and somebody who studies neuroscience as well, I have practical routines to maximize my creativity, neurophysiologically maximize my creativity, to put myself in a space where my ideas are going to be highest. You get usually about 2 to 3 hours of maximum creativity time. Maximum. But you have to make sure you do things right to get those 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours per day.
Per day.
Okay.
Yeah, per year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, uh-oh. And so how do you do that? There are a number of ways to do that. And so I have very, very practical, disciplined routines that I follow so I get my full 2 to 3 hours. And so today, for example, is a perfect example. Most people have their most creative hours, their ideating hours in the morning. Even if you're a night person, most people tend to be most creative in the morning. Again, your results may differ, but for most people, that's the case. And that's certainly the case for me. So I get up at the crack of dawn. I get up a little bit before 5 every day, 4:45 every morning. By 5 o'clock, between 5 and 15 and 5 and 5:15, I'm in the gym. Now, and I work out hard, which means I try to do an hour of resistance training and then also get steps every day. So I'm active over the course of the day. I've got a treadmill under the desk, and I get up. I make sure that every 2 hours I'm walking for at least 15 minutes, et cetera. But I have hard, self-abusing, resistance training, lifting weights for an hour every morning, and then I shower, and then I go to mass. I'm a Catholic. I go to mass every day, body and soul, every morning, body and soul. I come back from mass, and then I have my coffee for the first time. One of the ways for optimizing creativity, and there's a lot of new research on this, is actually not getting your caffeine too early. You got to have your caffeine a couple of hours after you wake up, hour and a half, 2 hours after you wake up. There's a whole bunch of reasons why that's the case. Andrew Huberman talks about this a lot in his podcast. Among other things, it has to do with how the caffeine molecules actually substitute for the adenosine molecules in your brain. Adenosine is a neuromodulator that inhibits your activity, makes you feel tired, is what it comes down to. Caffeine is a molecule that looks just like the adenosine molecule, so it goes into the receptors for adenosine, blocking the adenosine molecules. So caffeine doesn't make you peppy. Caffeine blocks you from feeling lethargic, is the way that it works. When you metabolize it, and it's too early in the day, you still have a lot of adenosine in your brain circulating from the night. As soon as the caffeine molecules come out, the adenosine all goes back in at once, and you crash at 2 to 3 in the afternoon. Bad for work is the bottom line. So wait. Anyway, that's a tangent, but you get the idea. I wake up early. I do my exercise. I worship. I get a boatload of caffeine, and then I've got my 2 to 3 hours, and it's going to be a good 2 to 3 hours. Usually 7:30 to 10:30, I am on. And that's what I did today. Until 10:30 this morning, I wrote a whole column from 7:30 to 10:30. No Zoom meetings, no phone calls, no interruptions. I'm just going to be using the neuromodulator activity that I've optimized to be in the ideation space.